My name is Talicso, and this is my save file.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to the Save File podcast, where like every video game character, every gamer has an origin story to tell. I'm your host, Golden Light, and today's guest I have on episode 21 is the one and only Talicso. He's an awesome mixer partner, and he's out here just doing great things. I got much love for this man. He's so dope, so humble, so open about his story. Man, this guy's just an overall badass. I love this guy to death. The reason why I'm doing things a little bit different is because when we filmed and streamed the episode, we had quite a few technical difficulties, and right now I'm just going to edit this part in. And basically where I'm going to edit us into is that I asked him a question about what was a pretty key game that really got him into the whole gaming scene, and he said World of Warcraft. He's a diehard World of Warcraft fan way back in the day. So the part that we're gonna jump right into is him explaining why that game was so important to him. Again, thank you so much for coming through, and enjoy the show.
I think I also used it a little bit for what would you say? What's the word I'm looking for? As a bit of a, not a cop out, but a like a safe house almost, because when I grew up I had really bad acne, and so I think that was something that really kind of made me go a little bit into a shell, I think a little around my 12th grade time. So having World of Warcraft was my shelter, I guess you'd say, so I could go there. I didn't need to worry how I looked or anything like that. And it was I remember I think like a large portion of it was I kind of educated myself into health and stuff. I kind of figured I was probably because I was drinking way too much milk and eating way too much sugar.
That'll do it.
Yeah, and I think that kind of made me kind of hunker down a little bit into video gaming as well. That's kind of like my my safe place. You know what I mean?
So with all that, sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, with all that acne, I mean, how were your social skills then?
I think I still had pretty good social skills. My dad really raised me in a very social environment, even though my dad's kind of, I guess this would be contradictory, my dad's kind of antisocial, but he would have he had his close friends where we would always go over, and I was socializing with adults a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
So I think I was well socialized in that manner. I had like I was very, I guess, respectful, if you will, and I could socialize really well with adults. Maybe not so much with kids, and that's maybe why I was just so loud and obnoxious and so sarcastic growing up in school. But I think that my dad definitely gave me that side that it kind of and I think also gaming too. Like I still socialized in gaming that. I don't know. I never really feel like I have any kind of, what do you call it, social anxieties or anything like that. I never feel like that ever kind of hit me. But
yeah, well, I'm trying to understand the whole like how you used WoW as a safe place because of your insecurities with your acne. So when did that start? When did the insecurity started happening? Is what I'm asking.
I think ever since like just noticing, I guess, where the insecurities, where I felt like insecure with my skin kind of thing, like I just didn't like my skin. I didn't like having acne, I felt like it's hard because it's like, it's your face. Like, everyone sees that right away.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And on top of that, like I was like 6 foot tall, 120 pounds, like soaking wet. Like I was a skinny kid. So I was just a skinny, loud kid. I mean, the loud thing I think was probably another like defense mechanism almost to try and distract away from my skin. But I don't know. It was, I think, just because you're behind a keyboard and behind a monitor, and you have like kind of, you feel, I don't know. I felt safe. Like I didn't feel like I needed to worry how I looked. Yeah. And it was the personality that was the thing that kind of created friends, right? Versus, I wasn't the Adonis, with the chiseled jaw in class who just kind of walked around, had the 6-pack, and everyone wanted to hang out with him because he looked, he's super hot. And I was like, that wasn't me, that was never me. So
that's insane because, like, how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot. People say I'm 6'1". My license says I'm 6 foot, so we'll just say I'm 6 foot.
Your license says you're 6 foot.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucky was saying this because when I saw him at just PAX East here, he's saying, "How tall are you?" I was like, "I'm 6 foot." He's like, "No, you're not. I'm 6 foot." And I was like, "Maybe you're just lying. You're 5'11".
It's not me.
And he's like, "No, it's not.
you."
My license." Yeah, exactly.
That's where that comes in. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's you, man. Come on.
Exactly.
Don't play with my feelings. So, how's your relationship with your dad?
Great. I think I have an amazing relationship both with my mom and my dad. I think they both play very important roles in my life where they're both, I would say, very strong pillars in my life. I'd say my dad is kind of like my wisdom sort of thing. Like,
Is your
if he's listening right here, he's probably like, "That's bullshit," because he's like, "I tell you to do all this stuff and you never did it." You know? But you know, I would still, of course, make the same mistakes, but I always seek out wisdom from my dad. And he would always tell me later, like he always says about this car. Like, I bought a Mazda RX-8 when I was younger because I had a silly Sunfire for the longest time, and I was like, you know what? I just want to have a cool car. I want to be a cool kid. I want to have a cool car. I want to go fast. I want to have fun. And I saw this Mazda RX-8 that I bought, and it was secondhand. It wasn't too expensive. I absolutely loved it. It was my baby. I babied it like crazy. I did like the exhaust, the intake. I had the stereo. I had the tint.
Damn.
And I loved it. Absolutely loved it. That was my everything. And my dad, though, said it was a bad idea. He's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "All you're doing is this debt. It's debt. It's debt. It's debt." And I was like, "But it's fun." You know?
Yeah.
I loved it. Because the way my rationale worked, which is super dumb when I look back, I would be like, my car insurance was like, I don't know, it's like maybe $1,600 or $1,800 a year for my Sunfire, which I was like, why am I paying all this money for a car that is worth like pretty much the same price?
Yeah.
I was like, this is silly. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a car that's 10 times that price so I can make it worth my car insurance. I don't know why. I thought that. That was stupid.
I mean, it seemed logical at the time, I guess.
Yeah. My dad told me it was a dumb idea, and I still did it anyways. But now that I'm older, I've sought out a lot of wisdom and advice from him, especially for honestly streaming stuff, like business stuff, because my dad has always been an entrepreneur, a businessman himself. He's owned small businesses, and it's kind of been a passion of his because he's very stubborn. He will not have a boss. He can't do it. And so he's always he's giving me a lot of different advice. I'll go and ask him about like kind of business sides things to the stream, and he's definitely been there for me a lot with helping me kind of get over some things or how to kind of jump this hurdle or that. But anyways, then I guess for the other side, my mom is she is kind of like the emotional support. You know, I feel like that'd be with anybody. But mom's the emotional support. She's always there to say, it's fine, it'll be better, and she's just kind of always to be. I don't know. Both my parents have always been there, regardless for anything, right? And I think I've been very, very fortunate for that. I feel like it kind of sucks because my mom now is moving out east, and then my dad lives out west. So now I'm stuck in the middle. And it's going to be either I visit Nova Scotia or I visit BC to visit my dad. And I really miss my dad. We used to always go out at least on every kind of 2 to 3 weeks basis. We go for breakfast and we go out for a movie and just kind of hang out. And I really miss those times. And now that he's far away, I kind of visit. I think I visit at least once a year. And I definitely miss him. I definitely miss him being out there. And it comes down to the idea now where I'm like, I'm kind of torn. Like, where do I want to live now? Do I want to move out east or do I move out west? Like, if I go out west, I feel like I'd rather be out west, but it's so expensive to live out in BC area. Versus out east, it's kind of similar weather, but not so hot, not so cold. But then my mom will be over out east, and it's like I want to live close to one of my parents, but of course I can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom moves away this summer. She's got a house now, and I'll be all alone, middle of Canada. Got no one. No, I got all my friends here. But
why do they separate though? Like, why are they moving around? What's going on?
They hate the weather. If you come and live here, you would understand. The prairies here, it's just the weather differential. I think with the summers and winters here, we have like 100 degrees Celsius spread. Like, we'll get plus 45, plus, I don't know if we get plus 50, but we'll get like plus 50 degrees Celsius, which is, I don't know in Fahrenheit, it's probably like 120, 130 Fahrenheit. I don't know what it is, but super hot. And then winters, we get the complete opposite. We'll get the minus 45, minus 50, which is your minus 45, minus 50 Fahrenheit. It's just insane. And it's 6 months too. So we have winter starts usually around Halloween. Our winter will kind of start, and snow will be either on the ground or coming down. Pardon me. And it doesn't melt until around my birthday, which is April. So it's just a long season of winter, and I think that's my dad couldn't stand it. He lives out in the west side on the island, and it's beautiful out there. It doesn't really get any hotter than 23 degrees, and it doesn't really get any colder than like -5, and it doesn't really get any snow that lasts. And like in the wintertime, he'll be out hanging on the deck, and they have like this beautiful little kind of deck space with a little corrugated roof on it over top, and they just kind of sit there, and they got bird feeders galore. It's like they've turned into crazy bird people.
Crazy bird people.
Yeah, they got all these bird feeders around, and it's beautiful. It really is. And it's a little piece of heaven that they have over there. And then it's just always so temperate over there. It's very humid though. You definitely notice the temperatures. When I go visit my dad, it's usually around our heat spell here in Winnipeg. So it'd be like maybe 35, 40 degrees. And I go visit my dad, and it's like 21, 22. And I'm bringing a hoodie and I'm putting it on because I'm cold. I feel cold over there. And it's like 70, 75 Fahrenheit over there, but I feel cold because I'm coming from a heat wave. And the humidity also too makes it really I feel like a little bit cooler. But it's always such a great time going to visit. This one time I rented a motorcycle from a local there, and did a kind of GoPro setup. Actually, that was like my very first edited video I ever posted on YouTube, was my GoPro footage cruise around the island with my dad. And my dad would say, well, you left me. I was like, well, Dad, you're going too slow. I had to have fun with the GoPro. But I loved it. There was only like one trip where I kind of ditched my dad, but other than that, we were going side by side doing a road trip. He had a bike, I had one, and it was a really good time kind of cutting around the island. But I think I went on a long tangent there.
No, it's fine. It's your show, remember? It's okay. This is your episode, my friend. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, are your parents still together?
No. So yeah, they separated when I was 5, and then they're now together with other significant others. My mother's remarried. My dad practically may as well be. He's been with his spouse ever since I was like 11 or 12. So that's, I don't know, 2 decades now. Jeez, wow. Oof. Time flies.
Time does fly. How'd you take their separation?
Oh, honestly, like I didn't really notice it. I feel like I was too young at the time when it happened, so it didn't. I don't think I would say it negatively affected me at all. It's like I said earlier, a kind of weird way to say, but like a successful divorce in a weird way for me. But as the kid, like I wasn't affected at all. I think it went again, weird to say, but swimmingly. Really, they parted ways. They never fought in front of me, and I just kind of bounced back between the two of them. Really, I think it worked out the best way it possibly could, if you will. Right?
Yeah, they definitely did a good job doing that. It's rare where there's like a peaceful separation, and they don't let their kids see everything that's going on. Yeah, which is great.
Exactly. Yeah. I wasn't surrounded by any kind of that toxicity or anything like that. And you always hear like those horror stories, but no, I was very fortunate, 100% very fortunate to have both of my parents were very incredible in the way they handled it. I don't think it could have gone any better, really.
Tell us about a time in your life that was a huge turning point for you.
Oh, huge turning point. Oh man, I feel like there's been so many.
Something that really stands out, possibly a tearjerker.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I have any kind of tear jerkers. The only things that really stand out to me, I guess, is I don't know. It's tough for me to really find something. I think it was maybe like people say, do you ever regret this decision or regret that decision? And I always say no. You know, I don't feel like I regret any decision that I made, because if maybe I chose a decision differently, I may not be where I am right now. And I'm really happy and really thankful to be where I am right now. And I think every experience and every choice I've made has led me to be where I am here. Like I back in the day, I was taking flight school, And I got my pilot's license, I had my night rating, I was working on my commercial license, and I kind of fizzled out. I fizzled out. I just kind of stopped kind of pushing towards being a pilot. And whether it was, I'm not sure. I think it's many factors, I think, that kind of put that flame out for me. I think a little bit might be a little bit towards my routine. I don't think I could blame it on gaming at all. But I was working at Pure Later as a courier. I felt like I was making comfortable amount of money there at the time. And from everything I was hearing about flying, it was like you're working long hours, you're barely getting paid, or you're loading planes. You're working kind of like the bum job, making very little amount of money. Like people were loading planes for like a year or two, and then also working a side job at Denny's, kind of serving breakfast just so they can make things work.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, like I can live. At the time, I was working for a union at Pure Later. I was making decent enough money working like 40 hours a week or a little less, and I could have lived off of that. So I was just, I feel like it was hard for me to step down, I guess, from the fortunate situation I had at Pure Later to flying, and then almost having to double my hours and cut my wages. I feel like that was something that was hard for me to get over.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you can always look at the other side of thing, like, if it's a passion, you just do it anyways. But it just, from all the horror stories of a lot of my instructors are saying, expect to get fired. There might be a day where you go work, for instance, and they had told me, like, one time he went to go work for this one place, and they had to fly up north. There's always a lot of bush piloting when you start flying, and so you'd be flying up north in kind of crummy conditions sometimes, or remote locations. And there was this one bad weather day where you have crosswind factors, where if there's a wind, it's coming at a crosswind condition where it's just not safe for you to land. It can blow you off the runway. And he said it was kind of off the chart. It wasn't safe. He didn't want to do it. And he had already denied, I think, a couple times before, not the same day, but other previous bad weather conditions. And I think this is either second or third time. And they said, look, it's either you fly or you're done. And he said, no, like, it's not safe. I'm not going to crash this plane. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to do damage to this aircraft and be on the hook and get fired anyways. And he got fired for that. And there's someone else they put out and did the same flight, and he slid off the runway. And he ended up caving in the landing gear. Nobody died, but he caved in the landing gear because he went off the runway. And I don't know how many thousands of dollars worth of damage they did, but it was like kind of situations like that. And he said there's another time where he was supposed to fly, and there's certain standard operating procedures where you need to have like the altimeter working on the pilot side, but
Mm-hmm.
if it's not working on the pilot side, you have a backup on the co-pilot side. Now he looked and he said, well, it's not working, I can't fly. You always need to make sure the pilot side instruments need to be working. You can work without the co-pilot side not working, but you can't go without the pilot side working. And they said, well, no, the co-pilot side's working, just fly right seat. And he's like, well, no, technically you're not allowed. Transport Canada rules says you're not allowed to do that. And again, they're like, no, just go. Like the problem is, it's like a bottleneck business. Everybody wants to be a pilot, and everyone's starting out, and everyone needs their hours, because you can't fly air transport ATPL, which is air transport pilot's license. You can't get that until you have like 2,500 hours. So you need to fly all these like single engine, dual engine, small aircraft for a while to build your hours up. And there's so many people trying to get their hours that there's more pilots than there are jobs. So it's like, if you won't do it, we'll get the next guy. So that's why a lot of times they're flying in kind of crappy conditions. So I feel like that whole environment and that kind of dog eat dog world just didn't really sound appealing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of just kind of like, no, I don't want to do it. So I was, like I said, I was making good money at Pure Later, and then I started working as a courier doing that. And I loved aviation, and I still do. And I ended up looking, I was like, why not get my foot in the door with the military? And so I decided to try and be a pilot there. And this story now goes on to, I tried applying for the military in, I think, 10th grade. And I did my aptitude test. And I had met the requirements to be everything, except for they literally said you're off by one question to be an officer. I was okay, whatever. And I didn't end up pursuing the military in 10th grade. And I came back probably 2 years. No, it would have been, it was 4 years after graduation. And
okay.
I decided to reapply. And they said, hey, your aptitude test is still valid. You don't need to write the test again, but you can't You can't go in as an officer. And I kind of thought to myself, okay, I haven't done any high school like grade math or anything like that in 5 years. Do I want to run the risk of redoing my aptitude test and be worse at it, or do I want to try and maybe do better and then apply as an officer? So I guess there's that fear of failure that kind of held me back there. So I decided, you know what you can do is you can get in the military and then you can just do like a job shift once you're in. So I decided, okay, I'll get in, and I applied for kind of air traffic control, and I applied for a couple other things, but I am getting job offers for air traffic control. And I figured, after a while, maybe I'll switch and segue into being a pilot later. And now that I've been in I'm actually nearing my 7 years now. I love what I do. I love doing the air traffic control stuff. It's a lot of fun, and I don't know if I want to change it now. I like the solidarity to it. With a lot of the pilot stuff, you're moving around a lot. You're getting you're overseas out of nowhere for a while. You're kind of coming back. You're getting pushed around a lot. There's a lot of long hours and moving around a lot to the point where I don't know. It's kind of I was like I like what I've got going on here. I really enjoy it. And the best thing is it allows me to do this as well, streaming. And I don't know. Where I'm at right now, I love it. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to change it for a thing. And I always kind of look back to that. And I feel like that is my turning point. I know it's not much of a tearjerker, but that cool. I feel was it, was are you going to keep pursuing the flying thing, or what are you gonna do? Like I had to do something. I knew I wasn't going to continue to deliver boxes the rest of my life. I looked at the guys who've been doing it for 30 years, and they have like these makeshift steps built in there because their knees are going out, and it was just too hard in the body. I was like, I can't do that. And so I was like, I got to find something else. And I knew I loved the aviation industry, and I decided, let's pull the trigger and check out the military. And I've loved it ever since. And I feel if I had done anything differently, if I see some people say, well, do you wish you'd go back and then not do any of the flying stuff? And I'd be like, no, because I feel like if I didn't do that, it probably wouldn't have led me to where I am here, doing the military thing. Where would I be? Where would I be working? I have no idea. Would I be streaming now? I have no idea. And I feel like everything I've done has led me to where I am right now, and I'm super thankful for where I am, and I wouldn't change it for a thing.
That's a good answer, my friend. Nice. What is it? So when people, because it seems like you've built that perspective and seeing like, okay, I see how people are working, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that typical, mouse on the wheel doing what they do. For the people that are listening, what are some advice that you could help them pull the trigger as you did?
I don't know. I mean, I think don't put yourself in a rut, and it's never too late to change, pursue your dreams to, I would say, a healthy limit, I guess, if you will, and know your limits too at the same time, like I knew that I didn't think that I had it to take that kind of pay cut and to deal with those kind of long hours. I just felt like mentally it would have been a little too much for me. But I mean, some people can do that, and people do that, right? Like, know yourself and find what you want to do, and just at the end of the day, you need to be happy with it. You need to be happy with yourself. You need to be happy with where you're going, and you're never in a rut that's too deep to get out of, I guess. Just there's always something else, right? There's always something else. If this isn't working for you, or like, you always wanted to do this one thing and now you're doing it and you're like, I hate this now. Like, doesn't mean you can't do something else. You can always diversify, you can do so much. There's so much out there in this world that you can do, whether it be online, real world, out at sea, like there's just so much potential. There's a huge world for so many different things you can do. Just don't limit yourself, I guess. I don't know. Not really sure what to say.
Yeah, you never. I noticed one of the biggest things is that the excuses that people like to use is at their age. Like they feel like it's too late to do anything new.
Yeah. I mean, there certainly are like you have family, and you may not be able to do this or do that because maybe you have kids or you have a house, or again, I think you can do anything to a certain degree, and just don't try not to limit yourself and say no. Like you always try and pursue something at the same. Like I'm working 2 full-time jobs. I really don't feel like I have much time to breathe. You know, I work a 10-day schedule with 4.5 days off or 4.5 days on of 48 hours. And then all my time off is stream stuff. And I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything, but certainly I make other sacrifices, you know, like social life. I'm definitely not as social with a lot of my friends I used to be. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be like relationships. What's that?
Yeah, Logic in the chat saying this is why he's single.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's just like you know, I'm happy. I'm still happy with what's going on, you know, and I think to myself, kind of like with a relationship for perspective is like I believe it'll happen, and I'm just not gonna chase after it because I don't know. I love what I'm doing here, and I feel like there's gonna be that moment where I find someone that'll make me want to make the time. I don't know. All I know is that I'm happy with this, and I wouldn't want to change it. I'm thoroughly enthralled, or I guess pulled into this black hole of streaming, if you will. And there's just so much to it that it's just always keeping me engaged, and I absolutely love it. You know, there's countless hours online, countless hours offline. It never ends. It's not like some people who think, you know, it's so easy to stream. You just flick a switch and you're gaming. But no, it is not.
Yeah, it's not. People don't know what they want to do until they have to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it requires a lot of dedication. You can't do it unless you enjoy it too.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
You can't force yourself to do this thing. And yeah, I don't know. It's a long journey, and I still have a long journey ahead. But I'm gonna keep going left, right, left, and see where it takes me.
How'd you get into streaming though?
Okay. So how did I get into streaming? I had a bit of a misconception with streaming, and I thought to stream you had to be good at something. Now chat's gonna be like, "Huh, that's a joke," because I'm not good at anything. I first started. I played a game called Clash Royale.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, as a mobile game, and I was. I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I was really good at it. Okay,
it's fine. Toot all you want, buddy. Toot all you want. It's all good.
I was like really crazy in that game. I don't even want to look at the receipt for how much money I spent over the couple of years I played it. It was probably a lot. But I thought in order to be good at gaming, in order to stream, you gotta be good at something. People want to watch you. So why are they gonna watch you? You gotta be good at it. So I figured, okay, what am I good at? And because I watch other people do it, and I feel like it's fun because I always knew I loved gaming. So I was like, I always loved hanging out with people, and I felt like I was very charismatic and ridiculous when I was always on event and stuff like that, and TeamSpeak, and people used to say like you should stream because I was just like such a goon, I guess, in the comms that why not? It would probably be entertaining to watch. So I was like, okay, what am I good at? So I played Clash Royale, and I was like top 200 in North America for that, and I remember like the best I got, and I was like maybe I think I got like top 70 or something once. Light flex. I'm sorry.
No, flex. It's fine. This is what this show's about. Flex your accomplishments, my friend.
Yeah, so then I had a gaming laptop, so I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get like the Android emulator or whatever, so I could play it on my computer and start streaming it and like hanging out with people and start doing that. And I got on Twitch, and I was kind of streaming me playing ladder matches and stuff like that. And I was always hovering around, I don't know, like I had like the 5 to 15 kind of mark on a regular basis. It wasn't really, pardon me, I remember I had like I think I did that for almost like a year on Twitch, and I had no idea what I was doing. Literally no idea. I literally just downloaded like OBS. I made a Twitch account, and I just streamed. I had no idea about lighting. I had no idea about audio. I had no idea about networking. I had no idea about literally nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed it, and that was the thing. Like I knew I enjoyed talking to people. I felt engaged. I felt like I was having fun, and I could get really kind of crazy playing Clash Royale because it was those moments where I would just casually be playing and talking, and then all of a sudden, some big moment, I'd be freaking out and having fun, and I kind of felt like that. That really kind of drew me into streaming. the fun of like communicating with people and laughing while you're having a good time playing a game. It just really resonated with me, and I think it was the connection with other people that were kind of hanging out with you and you were, I guess, like hoping they were having fun watching you have fun playing the game. That just resonated with me, and I knew I enjoyed it right away. But then I started feeling like, man, I can't just keep getting on. I can't play Clash Royale for like 6 hours every day. And I started running into that problem. I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I can't keep doing the same thing. Then I started playing World of Warships, and I started playing some Fortnite, and I would stream that, and trying to look for kind of variety to get into. And then, of course, you lose some viewers, and I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to network with people. I was trying to network with people on Twitch, and I feel like nobody wanted to give you the time of day. I mean, it maybe had something to do with the fact that my stream was trash quality, but you can go back and find some old clips of me, and it's bad. But then on the like total off chance, hold on, I gotta take this video off. I'm sweating. 1 second.
It's all good.
Hold on. Oh. Okay. There was this moment that even still to this day, this crazy coincidence I still can't believe happened, and I'm you may have heard it. I don't know. I talk about it probably a lot. I was playing a lot of Fortnite, and I was streaming on Twitch. I was really casual, I guess, for a bit, but then I went to PAX West, and I went with another friend of mine, and he streamed. He had a really nice stream set up. I loved it. I kind of got hooked. And I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to get serious with streaming. I'm going to really start investing into the knowledge of what is streaming and what do you need to do to be successful. And like where I instantly came home. I said how to stream, DIY streams, budget streams, because I knew my friend told me, he's like, oh yeah, I spent like $4,000. I was like, okay, I don't have $4,000 just to go drop. Like he worked in the oil business, so he had the money to throw at things. I was like, I don't have that kind of money just to come home and spend $4,000 and have a stream set up like that, you know? So I was like, I got a couple $100, you know? So I instantly looked at DIY streaming. You know, I went and got like this IKEA strip lighting. It was $16. I put like a garbage bag. It was a plastic garbage bag with a little face light filter. I got like the C920 camera. I bought like the Blue Yeti microphone. I got a second monitor. And then I went to the fabric store and I spent $40 for a green screen. Honestly, this is still the fabric behind me. I still got it. I just bought more. And it was honestly like I just did it step by step. You know, I said, like, you know, maybe this month I would spend maybe $100. The next month there was like Black Friday. Okay, I'll go a little crazy. We'll do $200.
Go a little crazy.
Maybe like, yeah, right. Like that was crazy for me. You know, like I knew like I had to make a living. I was still making a living doing my other job, and I had to, you know, pay bills and everything else. And I had to be smart about it, you know, and I couldn't really spend money on it if I didn't have the money to spend on it. I wasn't going to go into debt for it like I did with my stupid car. So
the Mazda.
Yeah, exactly. And then one day I was like, you know, I felt like I was really, there was this turning point where I felt like I was really starting to get kind of worn down with streaming, and I feel like I wasn't really getting any growth. My monthly goal was like, I think it was like maybe 20 followers or something a month. And I was like, you know, nothing's happening. Well, I got to do something. Nothing's really changing. A lot of my same friends are coming in, and I'm not really seeing any growth. And I don't know what to do. And I was kind of down. My friend that I was always playing Fortnite with, he was on vacation. And I decided to play some random fill squads, which I literally never do. I could probably count on my hands how many times I've ever done random fill squads in Fortnite. And that day, it was after work. I was tired. I was just kind of beaten down. I was really thinking, like, do I even want to keep streaming? It's not really going anywhere. And then I bumped into Lucky Shots. Super crazy. I got squatted up with Lucky Shots, and I heard him talking, and I was like, oh, this guy streams. I was like, hey, what's going on, man? Like, I take it you're streaming? He's like, yeah, I am. So then I twitch.tv/Lucky Shots, and I was like, you're not online. I'm like, are you crazy? What's going on? Who are you talking to? You're not on Twitch, dude. Like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm on Mixer. I was like, what's what's Mixer?
What the hell's a mixer?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I got a mixer in the kitchen. Like, what do you mean? What's Mixer, dude? And I went and checked him out, and he was doing I think it was something for the kids thing. They were raising money, and I saw him, and I was like, oh my god, okay, like hundreds of viewers, and I was like, okay, this guy's clearly doing something right. And he told me he was making a living doing it, and I was like, okay, tell me more. So I started playing. We had a really good squad game together, and he's like, okay, look, I'll add you, and we started playing some more squads together, and I was kind of hearing some more about Mixer. And I was like, okay, like I'm scared to change. I'm not gonna. I'll try it. I'll dabble my feet. I'll get my toes wet. Maybe I'll stream for a day on Mixer and see how it goes. So I changed all my stuff around, got my stream key in there. I kind of set up my. I didn't know if I really even had any real overlays at the time. I kind of changed my stuff around, and I went over. Well, I guess I had a bit of a setup because then I had like my crappy little IKEA lights and my doo-doo little green screen and everything. So I was kind of like a very amateur setup at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went over and played Fortnite for the first day. It was gonna be like a 1-hour test stream just to see if it worked. And the first day I streamed on Mixer, they had, and I think they still have it. They have a like up and coming thing, or like a new whatever. It's like a new.
Yeah, it's an up and coming category. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they had that. And I somehow got featured on there on my first day, and then it was insane. I felt like my channel was blowing up. Like I only had like maybe 10 to 15 people, but the thing was, it was a new name. It was a new name. Hey, how's it going? Chat was scrolling. Lots of it was trolls. All right, a lot of people were being like blueberry trolls, but people were saying like, "Oh my god, you're good." Like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I've never seen chat scroll like that or move. I've never seen. I pulled in. I think it was like 60 or 80 followers in the first day. I ended up making, instead of an hour, I went for like 8 hours, and I was instantly like blown away. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this isn't real, right? Like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure Lucky also shouted me out on his Discord. So I told him that day, I was like, yeah, I made my account, and he shouted me out. I was like, oh my god, like, thank you so much. And like one of his mods had followed me, and a couple of people followed me, and it was I couldn't believe it. So the next day I was like, it was euphoric, I was like, do I even want to go back to Twitch? I don't know. I was like, let's just go back to Mixer again. So I went back and streamed again for my second day. And honestly, it was like for the first week, I think I was almost getting anywhere between like 50 to 100 followers every day. And I could not believe it. I don't know where it's coming from. And it wasn't like I wasn't sitting at like 100 viewers every day. I was literally just sitting around 10 to 15 people. And it was just new people coming in. The Fortnite category was insane. Then you get like Hype Zone if I got like at the last, like, you're surviving or whatever. And it was just through the roof. I couldn't believe the hype. I couldn't believe the activity. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. This is my new home. I was like, I'm not going back. There's no way. I've never experienced this once. In one day, I had cracked double my goal of my month ago on Twitch. And I was like, this is it. I'm just going to stick to it. So then I came to Mixer. I played Fortnite day in, day out, and I fell back to that same dilemma of, God, the same game over and over again. I was like, I can't do this. And then I switched again. I decided, you know what, it's time just to really find what I want. And I knew playing what I wanted to play was what I should do. It wasn't a god at Fortnite. I was decent. I guess I was average at the time. And I think what I felt was people were hanging out with me more because I enjoyed hanging out with them. And that's what it kind of seemed like. I've always been very charismatic. I've been very, it's kind of like loud and expressive, if you will. And I decided, let's go venture into variety. So I started playing other games, and I had never done that before because I've always been a very much, what would you call it, like a niche gamer. I've always been like, I always played World of Warcraft, League of Legends, World of Warships, StarCraft. I'm pretty much like, that was it. And then I played a little bit of PlayStation and play some of those games. And that was kind of what I did. And I never really explored anything. And people are like, yo, you gotta play this game, you gotta play that game. There's just this whole world of games now that I'm still going back and catching up with. Like, I played the whole Tomb Raider series. It was amazing. I was so glad that I played that from number 1 to number 4 or whatever. and I've gone back and played Red Dead Redemption 2, and now people are saying, yeah, I'll play number 1. But there's all these crazy games now that kind of like just absorb me into it, and streaming just became just this whole, I guess, euphoric feeling that I don't know how to explain. It just it's a connection that I loved immediately, and it's just chatting with people, being here for countless hours. I never feel like it was too long. I feel like I could keep going, and I'd be some days where I'd come home and I'd be like, I'm so tired, I just can't, I want to go to bed, I just don't want to do it. I was like, no, you should do it. And as soon as I hit go start stream, instantly like this fire just ignites inside me. I just feel completely energized and excited, and people are here, and there's just I just love them, exactly like Jay said. Like I just love the community, and I love people, and I love gaming, and it's just all that together. And then I just kept grinding, and I'm still grinding today. I'm still learning. I still feel like I'm just at the beginning. I'm still at the beginning of this amazing journey. When I look at other people and in streaming, and it's just, I don't know. I don't want to stop. I can't stop. And it's just all about, now I'm going to events, right? I'm going to events, and it's all about like personal development and trying to learn like what makes you successful? How do you do it? And trying to take little tidbits from them. And Lucky Shots honestly has been like a huge impact in my streaming life, because I've gone to him for many things, like what kind of equipment do you use, or I'm having this issue. And his community really kind of took me in, and he was amazing. And I feel like I would definitely say that we feel like kind of like best friends. I go to an event, I see him, and we're hanging out. I'm almost like a puppy following around. We just have so many good laughs, and every time I go to an event, we're always chilling, and it's always so much fun. And I feel like we're just kind of two peas in a pod almost. And it's that sort of thing that almost, would you say, makes it addictive. This, like, the community on Mixer, just, it really feels like a family, and I cannot express that enough. Like how much this really just feels like a family. Everybody here that, you see people come back, you see the same name again, you get to know them, you're hearing that they're getting dubs in Apex, or they got a new job, or this or that, and you just feel like connected to people. I don't know, it's something that I have never experienced before. And I think this is almost something that, again, I could bring back to World of Warcraft, where it was that online community that felt like family for me then, that now streaming is to me now. It's that online community where I feel like I'm socializing with them, and we just kind of all just know each other and get along and have like this bond, I guess, that makes me hit that start stream every day. Yeah.
What motivates you?
What motivates me?
Streaming wise.
I think a lot of things. I think everyone, honestly, that comes back is a huge motivating factor. I think when you see that that community, the same people that I feel like you kind of have that connection with, you see return over and over again, whether they troll you or they give you that positive feedback. It's that I feel is most motivating. I can't lie, when you see growth and you have people approach you, and maybe you get like a new partnership, or when I first got accepted for a media badge at PAX, like that is just amazing too, all in itself. But I feel like that's not me. I feel like that's the community, it's not me, it's everyone else, because I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And like I feel like it's a joint effort, and I'm just super thankful to have all of them a part of the community that help me make these sort of, I guess, achievements, and try and help me push towards more, because now I'm just trying to push for other partnerships now, and like success doesn't come without failure. I've been denied so many times. I was denied partnership. I've denied like partnership with Mixer. I've been denied partnership with Discord, and I've been denied friggin' countless things over and over again. But it doesn't mean that I'm like, okay, I can't make it. whatever, kick the rock a little bit further and try again. And I remember when I applied for my Mixer partnership again the second time, I got a little sassy with them. I'm not gonna lie. Because I remember I was just kind of getting into variety, and they said no. You pretty much essentially came back as like you played too much Fortnite, and we want you to have higher metrics. And I was like, yo, look at the metrics. I was playing Fortnite in like the first week of the 4 weeks you examined. And I was like, I came back and I was like, I'm all about variety now. Like I don't even want to touch that game anymore. Like I just pretty much played it just because I still kind of dabbled in it, but I didn't like the way Fortnite was going. And I just kind of, I don't know, I gave him a little piece of my mind. My first opening paragraph was essentially along the lines of like, give your head a shake. I'm playing other games, like get off my back. I'm not doing the top, whatever, 3 games. And I feel like we need diversity. We need people who are playing other genres of games. And I feel like we're going somewhere where this community is incredible. And we've been growing month over month. And then they came back and said, congratulations, your hard work paid off. So I was like, okay, I guess get a little sassy with them, and it worked. I don't know.
It seems like you got to put like a little perspective into them. It's because like how you said they looked into your analytics for Fortnite. Yeah, and it's just like it's like, okay, numbers say that, but nah, like somebody's not looking at something. And that's a good point that you bring up for people that are listening, is that when you get a no, sometimes the no that you receive comes from the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So that
means come back and try again. Yeah. That's the way I look at it. Come back and try again. Like I've been denied, like I said, I've been denied more partnerships than I've been accepted for them. And that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop. Like I was denied my first and second PAX Media badge, but then my third one I got it, and now I've got my next one. So it's just like never stopping. I guess like persevering. Just keep on that perseverance and look at that failure. Put on your belt. It's another notch in your belt, and just use that as motivation, because like I'm gonna show them next time. And keep on pushing. That's kind of, I guess, what I've used for motivation is like is just set yourself big goals, to achieve over a long period of time, but also set yourself the little goals, and then try and, when you hack one little goal, celebrate that success. Maybe that little goal would be an affiliate link, or maybe it's like you got whatever 1,000 followers, or you got maybe 100 people on your Discord. Like set small achievable goals you can reach that are obtainable, and then set yourself like a big one, that like it may take you the year kind of thing. And I feel like that's something that, like, I don't write them down, but I don't know, it's kind of put them in my head, like, I'm really wanting to reach that thing. I really want to reach that thing. I really want to do that. And it's like, boom, I got that one. Sweet. Okay, let's go. It kind of like puts a little bit more steam in there, and then you keep going. But yeah.
So explain you getting actually partnered.
I remember like it was yesterday, and I just found the email because we're gonna be celebrating my Mixerversary soon. It's it's April 22nd, I'm pretty sure. And I remember walking into the shower, just about to hop in the shower, and then my phone goes ding, and I got an email, and I saw the little header was like Mixer, whatever, something staff. I was like, oh, this is the moment, and I've already seen the denied one before. So I was too nervous to open it up and really read the whole thing. So, when you just look at your phone, you just like read the first few letters, and it was something about like, we are happy. And as soon as I saw that, I literally threw the phone up. I screamed at the top of my lungs, like, woo! I was so excited. And I just lost it. I just freaking lost it. I don't think I had a roommate at the time, because if I would, he probably would have had a heart attack. But I was just so overjoyed. It was, again, it's a moment that still feels like it was yesterday. I can remember the light shining in the room. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was one of my days off, and I was just absolutely in heaven. And it was a big moment. I shared it with the community. I posted it on Twitter, and it was a big moment. It was like, hey, we finally did it. And I even at that point, though, still I still considered myself, I guess I call myself an in the closet streamer. I didn't come out of the closet to Facebook until like that summer. because I don't know. I was still nervous about letting my coworkers know and other people that know me, like my close friends, my parents, they knew what I was doing. My mom was was always one of my crazy supporters ever since day one. I remember her seeing like, "Oh my God, you got 10 viewers today," and she like sent me messages like that.
That's
and,
awesome.
Yeah, she was amazing. And then she's always been a lurker. I think she's in Cuba right now, so she's probably not lurking right now. But she's always been a huge supporter. And then that's another thing I guess kind of helped motivate me and kind of keep me, I guess, grounded in a way too, just to keep pushing. But yeah, it was a big moment. And then in June, I think is kind of when I felt kind of comfortable. I guess what I said was I didn't want to come out on Facebook until I felt comfortable with my own content and kind of knew what I was doing and kind of sorted myself out, I guess, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of when I was like finally announced it. And then I made it official at work. I started talking with people at my work, my supervisor, and I brought it out with the public affairs too, because I also wasn't really mentioning what I did for a job either, because like I didn't know what I could talk about in public, and I didn't know this and that. And then I started talking with public affairs, and they said like, you can talk about this, and this. You can't talk about that. You can't say this, and you get like this whole brief about it, because like I'm in the Canadian Forces, but I'm not representing them, right? So I can't I can't brand with them or anything like that. But something that's super cool that I'm really proud to mention, that there's this new program coming out called the Canadian Forces Ambassador Program, which I've been privileged and super thankful to be a part of this new program the Canadian Forces are coming out with. Because I kept mentioning to, I talked with the public affairs kind of Twitter account and saying like, look what the American Army and Air Forces members, whatever you want to call it, their military, what they're doing. They have like gaming booths set up. They're really driving towards pulling in people at these gaming events, because like that's your like crowd that you need to recruit, right? Like young
next
people,
market, yeah,
right? Like that's what you need to do. You can't just have these little recruiting centers like you did back in the 90s, where people are just going to go walk out and then go to this recruiting center and get a pamphlet. Like that's not the way it works anymore. Like you're going to grab people from ads online, and you're not going to grab from cable, because who has cable anymore? And so
now you see them on Twitch with ads on Twitch.
Yeah, right. And that's where I tell them, like, look what the Americans are doing. Like, we need to do the same thing, and we need to start driving like ads, and we start getting booths set up, and like get like some recognition for the Canadian Forces out there in the gaming industry, because it's a booming multi-billion-dollar industry. Like, this isn't something to just shy away from. And when I was talking to them, they said, yes, we're all over this. And then when I talked to them, they said, like, this is the new election coming up, so we can't really say anything that's going on. We don't know where our budgets are going. But now we had a new government in, and now they said they're going to be spooling up this CF ambassador program. So where it takes me, I don't know. All I know is that I'm super excited to be a part of it. And we'll see how that kind of trucks down the road and takes me into the future, I guess. But that's super exciting, because I can it's nice, because I know a lot of people, my supervisors, like the dinosaurs, if you will, they look at me as like the guy who's wasting time. I'm just like he's just a gamer. He's just wasting time at work, because everyone's allowed to kind of spend time to work on their, the secondary education or personal development or stuff like that at work. But if anything game related is like, you're wasting your life, son. What are you doing? And I'm just like, bro, like, you don't understand. And then once I finally was a part of this, then my other supervisor started to it's like, okay. And then he's like, okay, let me talk about things you can't talk about. I was like, I already got this whole thing. He's like, oh, it seems like you really kind of got your checks and balances. Like, yes, I've been telling you for months. It's like, yes, like, I'm not just like, he thinks, I'm just playing a game online and laughing with my friends, smoking weed or something,
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of older people just don't, a lot of the real boomers, just don't recognize what is happening here,
Yeah, the older generation will always judge the new generation. That's how it is. Unless they choose to adapt. Those are the smart ones.
Yes, exactly, yeah. I mean, they've got to be out there, right? They have to be.
I mean, the one that you're working with. Apparently,
Definitely not. Yeah.
That's insane, dude. Well, damn, that's one hell of a character creation you shared, dude. It's definitely insightful to get to know you a little bit more on a deeper level. Is there anything else before we move on to the next topic that you want to bring up?
I don't think so, man. Just guide me, senpai.
God,
Where are we
whoa, senpai. Okay. Stop. All right. So the next thing we're gonna get into is setting your attributes. So with every character that you create, there's always a set of attributes that you have to give yourself. So I'm gonna name a few characteristic traits. You rate yourself from 1 to 5, 5 being the highest.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Grit.
Oh man, hold on. Let me. What do you mean by my grit?
Grit. Are you looking it up right now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. All right.
My passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. Is that what you mean?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I think a 5. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
you said I think a 5. Okay.
I would say a 5. Sorry.
There you go. Okay. So
I'm a 5. 100%. Like I said before, like I set the small goals, and I set the big goals, and I stick to it. You know, I keep pushing, and through thick and thin. Swimming through molasses, you know, sometimes it feels like I'm swimming through these molasses. I don't know what's going on, and I feel like I'm kind of drowning, but I have a lot of amazing people in our community, and that, you know, help me kind of push through sometimes when I kind of get those moments of like, I don't know, but I still always have that, like, that shining light at the end of the tunnel, you know, that I keep pushing for. And I think I'm always gonna just, I don't know, I feel like my mind is set, you know, on pushing through this. And like I say a lot of the time, fake it till you make it, you know? And that's what I'm going to do. Just going to keep faking it till I make it.
But fake it with good intentions.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Don't be vindictive, because that's a lot of people misinterpret that.
Yeah.
Misinterpret that saying. So it's like, I'm
Canadian. I'm naturally kind and warm loving.
You know, I hear that a lot. I've been wanting to visit Canada for a little while, and I hear a lot of good things about y'all's culture, and that's dope.
Oh yeah, where's loving people. Oh god, my dad just told me to choke. How rude. Choke
on the water.
I don't know. Sick sadistic father.
Dad, what are you saying? Come on now. Please elaborate. Timed Island 9118. Sounds like Mixer gave him that name.
Yeah, it did. He has no idea how to change his name. I'm certain of it.
Your dad's amazing. What's your dad's name? If you want to say it, his first name.
My dad's name is Steven, but it's spelled Stefan.
Stefan?
Yeah.
Stefan, nice to meet you, Stefan. Welcome to the podcast. Happy you're here. Choke on the hypocrisy. Oh, that's amazing. All right, next one. Curiosity.
I would say a 4. I think a 4 would be fair. I can't say a full 5, but I'd say I'm more than the middle ground of a 3. So I'll go with a 4. I'm just curious to see, I guess, where things go. Curious as like how I can improve. Curious about, I guess, the unknown. But there's also that little bit of reservation out there too, you know, that it would say it brings me back down to the 4, I guess.
Okay. Enthusiasm.
I'd say a 10.
A 10?
I'm through.
Why you breaking the rules here? I'm kidding.
100% a 5 for sure. I think I feel very enthusiastic. I feel like my enthusiasm kind of shines through where it's my expression, my silliness, my being a weirdo, being a nerd, you know, that I think I'm very enthusiastic through that. He owes all of my I do. All my dysfunction is from my father for sure. Yeah.
Your dad's over here livening up the chat. I love it.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah.
It's amazing. keep going, Stefan. Keep going. All right, next one. Integrity.
A 5. I think I would like to say my integrity, you know, is like your word is your bond. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm all about that. 100%.
Patience.
I guess it depends. It depends what we're talking about. Because like most things, I would say I'm a 5. But like if we go back to just like maybe a couple weeks ago, I have a couple stories, I guess. A couple weeks ago, like I was streaming, my computer crashed 30 minutes in. I didn't know what's going on. I changed my game, crash. It says my RAM. I was like, you know what? I don't have the patience for this. So I instantly went to the store. It was like a Sunday at like 5:30. I knew it was going to close soon. So I pulled the trigger. I was like, you know, I'm just going to put this on the Visa. I bought like brand new RAM just in case it was the RAM. I tried it. It wasn't the RAM. I was like, shit. So then I ran out again to Best Buy. I bought a power supply. And I'm literally doing this all live on stream. Like I had my stream PC was fine. My game PC was toast. I had the camera bent down. I'm just kind of like pulling stuff apart. I was super stressed. And if it comes down to like hardware or kind of like when I went to PAX East, one of the worst experiences I've ever had with traveling. We had bad weather in Toronto. And we were in a holding pattern for 45 minutes. We land. We're waiting for them to plow some snow out of the way of our parking spot for like another 40 minutes. Our flight was literally as we're getting off the plane, our next flight was boarding. I was like, shit, we got to go through customs. I'm running. I'm trying to get there. I get to the part where I'm waiting for my bags to get cleared. And they said, sorry, your flight just finished boarding. It's on the way out. I was like, what do you mean? We still got 7 minutes. Like, doesn't Air Canada talk? Like, bro, hold on. He's like, no, I mean, I was livid. And I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, just calm down. We'll still get there. I won't be there at noon, but I'll be there at 3. Then we get put on the next plane. The next plane was like an hour delay to get boarded. And then we're sitting there on the plane for an hour. And then all of a sudden I'm taking a nap in the plane. They say this flight's canceled. The weather isn't getting better. And then they're like, all flights are canceled until 6 p.m. When I left, all the customer service lines it's like almost as far as the eye can see. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to sit in here and get a flight out today. There's no way. I looked online on Google for some flights. There was nothing out of Toronto. Well, there's nothing from Air Canada, WestJet, Delta, nothing at all. And I was like, what the hell? So I saw something from Porter Airlines. I didn't really know anything about it. Something leaving at 6 o'clock. And I was like, screw it. I want to get there now. Like the mixer event was going on that night. I want to get there. I want to be there. I didn't pay to wait around in a hotel and all this and that. I was like, fuck it. It's $400. Just throw money at it. Let's get the hell out of here. And then I'm sitting there waiting for my bags, and I'm looking at my ticket, and it said I had to get through gate 8. And I was like, Toronto all has like A52 or a big number, right? And I'm like, gate 8. I was like, what doesn't sound right? And thankfully, I work in the Air Force stuff, so I know a lot of different random airports. And I was like, I know there's a second airport in Toronto. I was like, wait, does Porter fly out of the second airport, not Toronto International? I Googled it, flies out of Billy Bishop. It's a 30-minute drive away. And I was like, no. So I was like, okay. I told my friends, like, can you watch my bags? Because like I got to go. This flight's going to be boarding in 2 hours. I don't know the traffic. There's been a bad snowstorm. We got to go. So this is where I guess patience, I don't have it. I was like, I just wanted to get there. I was determined. And I paid a cab to get me over there. I got there in time, and the flight still left like an hour later. But I got there like 8:30, and I was just like so glad. I was so happy just to finally be in Boston and be out of that trash and be away with that. But I think I would say I'm a 4. That long.
Out of all that, yeah. I mean, despite everything that seemed like
it
was going on. Yeah, I mean, you took it well though. Most people, they'd be all just, you already know. People would just be on a different level.
If I'm at like a theme park, or I'm waiting in line, or I'm in traffic, it's fine. But if if I said I'm going to be there for this, or I'm going to do this, I got to do it. Like I just can't wait. And like especially for computer parts, if something goes, like I'm just going to buy it now. Like it needs to be done now.
Why wait when you can do it now?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Spirituality.
I feel like I'd have to say I'm like, I don't know, a 3 or 4 for sure. Because I did have the upbringing in a Christian school. I don't feel like I have the same kind of spirituality as some of the other ones I went to school with, where I don't want to be taken wrong at all, but there's a lot of clickiness, a lot of judgment, and like that is not what you should see, in my opinion, in Christianity. Is like there's not supposed to be judgment, no judgment, and I was very much against that. I feel like you don't need to go to church to worship, you don't need this garbage or that. It's just love, and that's what it is. I feel like it's all just love, man. And like I didn't like that kind of you did this wrong, you did that wrong, and you're not doing it wrong. I still feel like I still believe in Christianity. I still have like the God and the Jesus thing, but I don't feel like I need to go be in the walls of a church in order to be a believer or to be a perfect Christian. And I just didn't really like a lot of the. I'm not sure if I don't think it's every church. I think it might have just been in that one. It felt very cliquey and very much about money, and I just didn't like that kind of feel to it. It just didn't feel comfortable. And I feel like it's just like just don't cast any judgment. I don't care where you're from, what your race is, what your beliefs are, what your sexuality is. It's just 100% love and acceptance. Like we all bleed red. Like I don't believe that just because someone does this that we shouldn't talk to them, or we shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that, right? So I guess that's my version of it, but I still think I'm spiritual because I still feel like there is that higher being. I don't know, or
higher power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
higher power. It's crazy how I noticed a lot of people, they're in the same predicament as you, like this, but then that, but then we're all equal. I found something that explains it. There's this, I don't even want to say religion, but there's this word where it's called being omnism.
Okay.
Basically what it means is that you don't practice a particular religion, but you find truth in all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I mean, I feel like we can get theological about that for hours. I could talk about this discussion 100%. Like, you could pick a little bit of almost every religion and still kind of make it like that one, bring it all together,
There's always, like I said, the Bible, I feel like it's a very good textbook to get a deeper understanding of life and us human beings, how we work, how we live. And then there's Buddhism, which is not a religion, it's a practice. People mistake that. It's just, there's a whole bunch of practices for that, and it's amazing how, and it sucks at the same time, where something so beautiful as religion to help us figure ourselves out is actually the law of the polarity. They're the walls that divide us. It's very unfortunate. Okay, next one. Confidence.
I feel like I put a front of a 5, but I'm probably more of a 4, I guess. Because I guess, I don't know. I'd say I'm about a 4. I still feel like I'm really I feel like I'm a really confident person, but there's always that kind of, again, a little bit, I feel a little reserved sometimes, and a little bit of fear or scarcity in some things at the same time. But
explain that.
I mean, again, I think some of it could kind of go back again to having acne as a kid, that maybe kind of put that little bit in there. But I feel like I really got a lot of confidence once I took like this really, I took this really intense drug, honestly. I went to like a dermatologist. They gave me this like crazy drug. I can't just call it anymore. And it was like super hard on your liver. I had to get monthly drug tests and everything else. But I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Let's get this over with. And I think I was like 21, and I was like, I don't want this shit anymore. Clean my face up, And I remember it in wintertime too, and it said like some of you can be sensitive to light, so like I had to like wear sunglasses all the time because like it would like I remember the snow blindness would like hurt my eyes like crazy. I had to wear like crazy amount of lotion because like my skin would essentially like just dry out like crazy. My lip chap, I'd going through that like bananas. It was wild, but I felt like I started getting confidence then once I kind of cleared that up, and I started hitting the gym. I remember I was 21 when I hit the gym, and I weighed in at 130 pounds. Another coworker of mine said, you're never gonna beat me. I bet you I'll put on more weight than you. I can just eat a whole bunch of burgers. I was like, this sounds like a terrible idea. Why do you, like, I didn't even want to bring this up. I didn't try to bring this challenge up. He said, you're not going to gain more weight than me. I bet you $50. I'll put on more weight in 3 months just eating burgers than you will. And sitting at home. I was like, okay, well, whatever. I'm gonna, I bought like my protein. I got my some weight gainer, like a meal replacement shake. I got like my pre-workout. I got all set up, and I had a friend of mine who already went to the gym. He was gonna bring me under his wing, and we started going. And I was weighing in, like I think I was weighing anywhere between like 5 to 8 pounds every month. I was gaining. I think I weighed in at 130 when I started. 3 months later, I was at like 158 pounds. and I finally started getting like that confidence again. I was finally like looking lean and mean, and that's it. Yeah, it was Accutane, and he came back. I think he maybe gained like 10 pounds, and he was just so mad at me. And I was like, bro, he's like, you cheated. You use all these supplements. And I was like,
you didn't establish no ground rules, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, I was like, I just said I wanted to go to the gym. You brought the challenge on, dude.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is where like my confidence really kind of flourished. I think it's going to the gym, feeling more confident in my own body, I guess. And like, is it necessary? No, but like, I don't know, just for my own mental self, like the gym really became a big thing for me. I still go now, and I've gained a lot more weight, and my metabolism I think has slowed down a little bit, but I'm happy in my body now. You know, I still feel like I'm pretty fit, and I love the gym. The endorphins that you get from going to the gym, the feel good feel, that like that like pain, you know, that you feel is great. And I hate being sick because right now it's definitely like keeping me from the gym. I went my first day and I was just like, now I'm just kind of a little too like congested, but I'm looking forward to getting back to the gym again and grinding away because I just love it. I love it.
Damn, I need to get back in the gym. Fuck.
It's good.
I'm holding it up.
Good.
I don't need to though. Okay. Shyness.
I don't think I'm too shy. I think I would say I'm maybe a 2, I guess. I'm not that shy.
So then why are you single?
I'm just not out there, bro. I feel like for that, like I just literally just don't get out. Like, you know, like I'm either working or I'm at home grinding, you know? So like, I feel like the only time I'm going to meet somebody is at like an event or gaming, or like online dating apps are trash. I think for the most part, like as soon as you tell somebody that I game, most of them just ghost on you. They're like, wait, you do what?
Yeah.
And they're just gone, you know? Like you tell me like I work 2 jobs, and like, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm in the military, and then I do my home business thing. Like, oh, what's your home business? And it's like, I'm a content creator, you know, trying to avoid it, you know. And they're like, oh, what kind of content do you create? I was like, shit, stop asking. Like, I play games. And like, oh, what kind of games? And I was like, I live stream, I talk to people. Gone. And I was like, oh, there we go, another one flies away, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I understand it, you know, like there's still like a lot of taboo, I feel, around gaming as a job, you know. Like a lot of people think as soon as you say like I game for a living or something like that, people like think like, oh, you know, you're living in mom's basement and you're making $10 a month and you'd never be able to live off that. Like you're just a bum, like you're not going anywhere, you know. Like I feel just that big taboo thing still about gaming. But it's changing, you know. Like I feel like streaming and gaming as the industry is growing has only really been around for like arguably in the mainstream for like maybe 10 years, right? Like Justin TV, if we go back to those days, so that was like only like 15 years ago. Like it's not that long ago.
That was like 8 years ago.
Was it? Yeah. So it's not that long ago, you know, where Twitch really started booming and really starting big, and then it became a viable way for people to make livings off of it. You know, like Ninja really put the face of gaming and streaming out there. Like it really put the world spotlight's like, okay, yeah, doable. People are like, look at this guy, he's making millions and millions of dollars a month. Like it's insane. Yeah.
It's funny to be like, who is this guy with this person? Like the biggest one was Kevin Hart. People were like, who's this clown with Kevin Hart? And then all of a sudden people are like, what? He plays video games for a living and makes millions of dollars? What? He has a shoe deal? What? You know, and those two, man, Ninja and his wife, man, they're a power couple. They're out there making moves and try to, you know, it's much bigger than just gaming. And much bigger than them. It's about putting gaming on the map. I highly
they
respect
definitely
them
seem
for
very
that.
humble and driven towards that too, you know, like
They definitely are.
There's a lot of haters out there for them, but you know, I think they're doing everything they're doing is for everyone else down the ladder too. You know, like Ninja, I think it was back in 2018, had like the most impressions in advertising worldwide over anybody. And that's when like you really started seeing industry like, you know, like this is where we got to advertise, you know, like
can't ignore the numbers, man.
Yeah, people are more likely to buy something if you see your favorite streamer wearing this hat or drinking this drink or eating that food than seeing an advertisement with Ty Domi telling you to get this new friggin' phone service, you know? Like it's just you're going to resonate with somebody you enjoy watching, you enjoy hanging out with, and you're going to want to emulate or kind of do things that they do, and you feel a lot more like they're original, like they really do support this, like you trust their word, like I've had some people approach me like, like you want this keyboard, that, and I was like, I looked into it, like, like I don't know, like I don't think I like that, so like I don't want something, I don't want to push something that I don't want myself.
Yeah, it's authentic.
Like, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely don't want to try out a product before you want to go out and put your name out there, and that's where people fuck up.
Yeah, 100%.
Forgiveness.
5 for sure. I don't hold grudges. I feel like there's this I feel like my energy is a lot more better spent on other things than being angry at somebody for something, like
it's a good answer.
Whether it's a bad breakup, like my ex and I, we didn't have the best relationship, but we had an amicable breakup, we went our ways, and where I would say we're friends, like we're not hanging out and grabbing McDonald's every other night like best friends or anything, but like if I saw her, she wouldn't try and kill me, and I wouldn't spit on her. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I feel like same thing with anyone. If someone does me wrong, I'll just be like, maybe I'll just be a little bit more hesitant to trust them with this or that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to badmouth them or talk badly about anybody. I feel like everybody does whatever. You make your choices the way you make your choices, and I'm not going to judge you for that. And if maybe it hurts me in a way, then maybe I might just not trust you with my car, or trust you with, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like there's any reason to be just forgive, all about forgiveness. 100%.
Let that shit go.
I
don't know if you listen to Russ, it's a rapper, but he's like, don't let people live in your head rent free.
Yeah,
I love that line. It's amazing. Imagination.
Depends. I don't know. Imagination. Like, how would we say? Are we saying like creativity wise? Because like I can't draw to save my life, but I feel like I don't know. I still have like a draw pad that I kind of enjoy doing some drawing things with. I'm really bad at it, but I still enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I still feel like I have I guess an imagination maybe of where I want to be and what I want to do and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess I put it at 3. I'm kind of little middle of the road there, I guess.
Okay. Self-awareness.
I don't know where I put that one too. That was a tough one. I feel like I'm pretty self-aware. I like to believe so.
This is where I play Jeopardy music.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know what to say for that. Like how, like, I guess elaborate. What do you mean, like, on my self-awareness? Like,
how aware are you that you know nothing?
Okay. Then I guess I would say I'm a 4 or 5. I know, like, I've got a lot to learn. I feel, okay. I know I've got a lot ahead of me, a lot to learn. I look at other people, how they work, and I want to try to emulate myself, like other role models. And again, like, just a simple thing of just seeking out advice from my dad, for instance, on business stuff. Like I know I don't know everything. I'm fallible. I'm not gonna. I'm not just gonna spearhead this and go and expect to move mountains. Like I like another thing I kind of say is hope for the best but expect the worst. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of said when I used to apply for partnership, was like, I'm gonna hope that I kind of succeed and I'm gonna crush it and get partner, but I'm expecting that maybe it won't go that way. I guess to try not to set up for high expectations to kind of fall further. You know what I mean? But not that I don't want it to happen. Like I'm hoping for exactly the best, but expect for that worst kind of thing.
Yeah, don't have too much faith in faith. You got to meet it halfway.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you got to put in work. And I like how you said, expect the worst, but I like to say be ready for the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd say that.
Courage.
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 I think I'd say about a 4 as well.
Okay.
Oh, he's a 5. I would say, yeah, I'd say about a 4. Again, I'm not going to run into the lion's den, but
Yeah, don't run into my den.
Yeah, but
The gold lion den.
Yeah, the gold lion den. Yeah, Very relevant. I like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, like I'm not afraid to put myself out there. I'm not afraid of failure. Like right? Like,
yes,
let's just go take a stab at it. And put your best foot forward, and just take it every day as it comes. I guess. I don't know.
For somebody that isn't courageous, what is some advice you can give him to help him be courageous?
I would say just, again, don't be afraid of failure. You're not going to learn until you fail. You fail and you learn from your failures, and then maybe change it up, adapt, overcome. I feel like, I know myself, I think everybody is always afraid of failure. I feel like it's a lie to yourself if you say I'm not afraid of failure. You're always afraid of failure in one way or another, but it's all about just getting over that fear and just trying to overcome it and get it done. And maybe you take a different path, maybe take a little segue around something just to make sure you avoid something you might be super nervous about. But you're always just never let fear hold you back.
Good answer. Competitiveness.
I feel like I'm pretty competitive. I would say probably a 5, almost to a fault sometimes. Because like when I used to play League of Legends, I had to stop playing that game because I just got so
sweaty
and sweaty.
You're that sweaty gamer.
Oh yeah, like right there. Yeah, League of Legends. Enough said. Yeah, like that's it. Like I've always been competitive. Whether it was whether it's playing Monopoly and getting mad, Monopoly breaks families and breaks relationships.
There's no friends in Uno.
Yeah,
let's just think it's friends in Uno.
Or I had a big stint with playing poker. Being very competitive with that, and I feel like it's a natural thing being competitive, and I enjoy it. And there's a healthy amount of competitiveness, but I'm very competitive for sure.
Got a love league, huh?
Oh yeah.
All right, last one, my friend. Luck.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if I really believe in luck, really, but hard to say luck. And I guess I could say I'm really lucky just to say the fact that I bumped into lucky shots in this whole thing. Everything is really because of that. And whether you call it luck or coincidence, I guess go with a 5 for sure.
You listen to Tony Robbins?
No, I don't.
You know who he is?
I know who he is, yeah, but I don't listen to him. I'm really bad for, like, a lot of people be like name drops. I'll be like, ugh. And then same thing with like music. People like maybe mention an artist and I'd be like, no, I did. They play a song, I'm like, I know it,
Okay.
I'm really bad with that sort of stuff. But like same thing with streaming. I'm very much like head down, grind, and it's hard to keep my head up and find new people or this new thing or that new thing, or get into podcasts. Like I really enjoy Joe Rogan podcasts, but I really haven't dove into those for a while too. I feel like it's been a minute.
Yeah. The whole goal with this podcast is, my goal is to be the Joe Rogan of the gaming podcasts.
Love it. That's
my goal.
A perfect person to emulate, man. 100%.
He's a badass. I love that guy. Yeah. He's so awesome. Yeah. All right, my friend. You have set your attributes. Now you're off to your main quest. So what is your main quest?
What is my main quest? I think my main quest would be to, again, I think it comes back to my thing when I said fake it till I make it. I just want to make it. I think that's my main quest. I want to make it. And what does make it mean? I feel like make it would be to a point where I can live comfortably off of this passion of mine in gaming and streaming and all that. I feel like that would be my main quest. 100%. I would love to be able to do this full time and then have a routine schedule, because like I work nights and I work days where it's always moving. It's hard to keep up with, but the end goal for sure would be just to live off of this and go full time, and that'll be the main quest.
And how's that looking so far?
One step at a time. I feel like in this industry, the whole thing is like it literally everything can just like that, you know. Like look at so many other people that do this and support your father in the manner he would like. Oh my god, my dad wants his Ferrari. That's what he's always telling me. Christmas, do you give me a Ferrari? Yeah, I was just getting like a toy car, you know.
What color does he want?
Probably red. I bet just so
red,
stand out.
A lipstick red, or like a
Mazda.
You want a Mazda?
That's very humble. You know. Okay, I can afford. I can probably afford that maybe one day. Oh wait, what's he coming up with now? I don't even know. I don't even want to read it now. But
family compromise.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, what were we talking about? I'm totally taking off track.
Yeah, how's the track of you being full time, like looking for you?
I think it's all positive. You know, like I've been able to reinvest and buy the setup I have now because of my amazing community, and it's just I think a lot of things come down to honing in, I guess, the craft, if you will, finding my niche, keep building that community. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. I've only been doing this for pretty much a year now. And just persevering, you know. I would love to say I can do this full time in a year, and I'm in Winnipeg before I move again for a whole year. So I'm here at least until 2021, and I would love to be able to say, you know, 2021 I can do this, but we'll see. Who knows?
Oh man, looking forward to your success, man, and your journey.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. All right, so that was your main quest. Now, with every main quest, there's always some side quests. So what are your side quests?
What are my side quests? I mean, we've been laughing about it, but I think finding that +1, you know, I think that'd be a decent side quest. Finding that +1 one day. I feel like that also, like, finding that supporter, that individual in your life, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it would be nice, but that's something that is not my main quest, you know. Like I said, it's a side quest that I think it'll come when it comes, and I'm not gonna put it. I'll find it when it gets there, you know. But I think that would be one of my side quests. And do I have anything else? Paying off debt, I guess, would be another one. My car would be my next side quest. Pay off. I was actually super fortunate. We didn't even talk about this one. Do we have time for a tangent? I might go on a tangent here.
Let's do it. Let's get it.
All right. I was posted in Cold Lake, Alberta, and I kind of brought this out to my community. Actually, it kind of came out to this one, which is a big one for me. I lived out in Alberta there, as you know. I bought a house, and again, against my dad's better judgment. See, if I just would have listened to my dad. We bought a house, and 6 months after I purchased the house, the oil market crashed in Canada, and the house just went down. I think I'd lost, I don't know, maybe like 15% of my house value in the first like 6 months. And I was like, whatever, you know, let's keep trucking along. We'll see what happens. And then the year after that, they're looking at potentially posting me out. Because my ex at the time, she was actually kind of my lucky charm to get out of there. She was doing university. We couldn't afford to put her up in Edmonton, so she was gonna live with my mom back here in Winnipeg. And so I talked to my crew manager, said like, hey, can you help me get out of here, move closer, whatever. Like this place is just dragging me down. It's too damn expensive. Like everything was so expensive up there. My utility bill like had like an $80 distribution fee alone before any charges were even on it. So like right away, I'm already paying $80. It was pretty expensive to live up there. And our lot fee kept going up. There's foreclosures coming out. People weren't selling their homes. The market then had turned like 30% loss. And my whatever, I had a trailer in like whatever this village there. And they were charging, when I first moved in, it was like $300 a month, and within a year and a half is up to $500 a month, and they're still going up. Meanwhile, people are losing their jobs left and right, and it was insane. So I racked up a lot of debt. I got posted out. Military covered us for 6 months to cover our bills and all that stuff for the house. I was trying to sell it, but I had a feeling it wasn't going to sell. There was only like 20 houses on the market that weren't that weren't selling, and when I put it up, I think I put my house up for almost 35% less than I purchased it. It was a huge loss, and I could try and fight the government to try and get my money back if it sold. And then after the 6 months had gone, then all the bills fell on me. So now I was living in Winnipeg, and then I had to pay for a house back in Alberta. I just couldn't afford it. It was 2 houses. It was too expensive. And I had to pull the plug. So I didn't do bankruptcy. There's a thing here called consumer proposal, where I essentially get to keep all my assets, and I pay more money back in a shorter period of time. And I did that, and it was definitely a scary move. But I was like, whatever. I was like 27 at the time, I think, and I was like, it's not the end of the world. Money is just money, I'm still gonna be breathing, but let's just be real here. I've got too much debt. I can't sell the house. I can't live unless I just get rid of this. And then I moved to Winnipeg. I was living in Winnipeg here. I had that debt on my head. It kind of sucked. I lost my visa, and it wasn't a big deal, but we were moving, and I started working a second job, and I knew I had to do something to try and pay off these bills. And I couldn't find something that I actually delivered mail for a little bit. I worked at the Canada Post for a bit and did that for a short stint. And then, like I said, that's when I started. I already had kind of dabbled in streaming at this time, but then I wasn't really doing it much when I was working that other job. And once I went full time or I guess you could say I went full time with streaming in the end of 2018, it started providing a little bit income, and I was able to pay off my consumer proposal, which I'm super thankful, 2.5 years early. So that is something that was a huge weight off my shoulders. A huge thanks to my community. I felt like I was definitely breaking down a little when I was writing that message in Discord to thank everyone. I hadn't told anybody about it, but it's because of them that I was able to pay that off early and have everything that I have here. I'm super thankful for that. And that was definitely a side quest, I guess, for me, for sure, was getting that off my back, because I wanted to start over again. I wanted to get that bad credit out of here, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them and without this opportunity that they kind of gave me. So it's been that was my side quest. Long tangent there.
It's fine. Yeah, your community is fucking amazing. I see them over there. They're having fun in chat this whole time. Never a dull moment in here, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. Y'all are the best. Is there a name for your community?
We call them Tallytown, pretty much.
Oh, well, welcome to Tallytown. Ah, that's why they said that right there. Tallytown. Well, I love Tallytown. I love to come in and just hang out. I love your streams, man. You people are awesome in there. I could really tell.
We got a really good community of people. For sure.
It's amazing, dude. It's only gonna grow.
Yep.
All these mods, what are they, like governors and stuff? Mayors?
Yeah, I think we had them dubbed as mayors before, but I brought them back down to mods again.
Oh,
they didn't like it when I was calling them townies. They didn't like that, so now we just call them Tallytown, and they got mad at me for that.
The Tallytowners.
Yeah, exactly.
The Tallytowners. All right, man. Any other side quests?
No, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah.
All right, so the +1. Let's go back to that. I'm sorry to bring this up.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Shoot.
Listen. I'm the same thing as you are right now, okay? We young, we good looking, but listen, we just gotta be patient.
Yeah.
What we're in, it's very specific.
Yeah.
But once we find that one, it's gonna be great. And Breezy says something about, I need to find a Jamie. Like that, who the hell is Jamie?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay, very good question. He treats his cat better than his mods? Oh. Joe Rogan? Yeah. His BB. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. The tech guy. Okay. Now I get. Yeah. Jamie's his tech guy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now I get it. Cause Jamie's like a female name too. So I'm like, who the fuck is Jamie?
Yeah. I don't know either. But yeah. Now, that was a tech guy that he was always talking with. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Definitely one of those. That'd be amazing. Down the line, that's one of my side quests. Down the line, I'll invest more into this. Have my own studio, and maybe for part 2, you'd be able to come by my studio, do face to face.
Yes, please. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, part 2 a year from now. You down?
100%. Put him. I'm already got it in the agenda, dude. I'm locked in.
Let's get it. Yeah, I'm already set up for a whole year already. Now at this point. Oh man, that's awesome. All right, So there's your side quest. So now you completed your side quests, completed your main quest. Now you're off to your final boss. So what is your final boss you wish to conquer?
Oh, my final boss. I feel like the final boss is almost the same as my main quest, really. What's the final boss is I guess just continuing to grow, like never stopping, keep pushing, the learning never stops, and just trying not to, I've said it before, like the fear of, I guess, becoming stale or irrelevant or falling out of the time or something like that. Like I guess there's that fear of that I just want to overcome and just always stay on top of the ball, and it's and like there's such a very intense and geez, I don't know how to put words for this. The streaming industry, it's like it's almost like a dog eat dog world, but not so much. Like it just you have to keep updating, you have to keep working at it. You can't just. There's never a day where you can just be like, I'm just gonna go on and play, and then I don't need to do anything else. Like you're always doing something. There's always stuff on my mind about. I had to talk with this guy, I had to talk with that guy, and I had to maybe get this artwork done or get that merch done or talk with this person to get some videos done. And it's literally never done. And I watched a video on Amazon Prime. I think it was called Living the Stream. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. But really, really good watch. It was on Prime Video. And they interview a bunch of streamers from Twitch. And they talk about their sort of experience. And I completely resonated with the one guy who said, like, back in my day when I said, I was like, I'm just going to keep doing this until I reach this mark. And then when you get that mark, you're like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing it until I get that mark. It honestly never stops. Like I remember saying, like, okay, I'll dial my hours back when I get this, or I'll stop doing this when I get there, and then when you get there, you're like, oh no, I got to keep pushing. You never let off the gas. Like you just got to keep going. And it's not that that's a negative. I think that's something that I feel energizes me or motivates me, is the amount of work and so many different avenues in this that just keeps me fresh. Like I tried to explain, someone said, like, what's streaming about? And I feel like, okay, imagine like a news studio, but you're one person doing the whole thing. And they're like, what do you mean? You're the camera guy, you're the art guy, you're the anchor, you're the tech guy, you're like
the engineer.
Everything that goes in that studio is done by one person. So just imagine that. And like that is streaming. That's exactly what it is. So of course, is never going to get boring, because you're always going to learn. You're always learning every single day. I'm always either learning. I've learned so much about hardware. I've learned so much about software. I've learned so much about networking. I've learned so much about like just gaming. Like it's just so much. There's just so much that it just keeps it interesting all the time. So I guess my final boss would be final boss is finding a wifey or like the final boss I think would just be always staying on top of the ball. I guess just always keeping momentum, always going, always improving and growing.
That's a good answer. I felt like you like went deep in your head right there. Like, wow.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, it goes back to one of those points that we made earlier, is that you really don't know what you're getting into once you get into it. Like everybody sees the live stream, but nobody sees what's behind the live stream.
100%.
Everything like you have to learn, you have to adapt. And especially with these changes, it is a dog eat dog world. You have to adapt. Otherwise you get left behind, and it's constant movement. That's
it, right? Like, if you get kind of stuck in a rut, you can't stop, because just like in life too, like life will move on without you, and you just got to keep moving, keep pressing forward, and don't stop. Oh my God, my dad, he has to breathe to continue the line. This guy. we need a 90-day timeout on this guy right here. All right, 90-day timeout. Let's do it.
Oh my God, Stefan. I love that. It's amazing. All right, my friend. So say you conquer your final boss and it hits game over. What is the impact or legacy you wish to leave when somebody opens up your save file?
I think just having a positive impact on other people's lives is everything. I think that's gold, you know? Like at the end of the day, I've thought, where do I want to be like 10 years from now? I would hope that I would have had a successful career with streaming here, and then maybe it segues into working with another company, whether it be partner manager for somebody or being like a community manager. I don't know, being somehow working in the industry, because I love the industry. I really do. I thoroughly enjoy it. And somehow it would take me there, you know, because of course, you know, I don't know. I don't think I can, I'm not going to be old and gray, 55 years old and still streaming. I mean, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe, who knows?
I mean, Dr. D, he's 38. And he just not got to deal with WWE, so who knows?
Yeah, right. Like, and I got lots of time ahead of me. So
yeah,
we'll see where the road takes me, and I certainly don't want to stop. Just keep on going. I totally started blanking all of a sudden, but yeah, just keep on going, man. Like, I would love to leave a legacy of positive impact, I guess. Be the right thing.
Okay, what do you mean by positive impact?
You know, if someone maybe comes and, like, when people tell me that, like, I'm having a really bad day and I came here to get cheered up, that is what, you know, fills up the gas tank for me. You know, when someone tells me that maybe grandma passed away, or their spouse had a fight, or someone's sick in their family, and they just come here just to forget about whatever problems they're dealing with, and maybe I put a smile on their face, you know, like just knowing that I have a positive impact in somebody's life is everything, you know. And some people tell me that I've had some people like whispering before, like, you know, somebody was sick or their friend had died, and, you know, they were hanging out here and they just, you know, let it kind of not forget about it, but, you know, just kind of put that weight off of their shoulders, and they just hang out and they find that sense of community with everyone else here, because I feel like we're one big tight-knit family, you know, and we welcome in new people all the time, and it's just that sense of family that we're here to love and help everybody through whatever troubles they might be going through. I feel that is the impact, the legacy that I want to leave, for sure.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, your dad's still in here being the best.
Dad. Still waiting on that one, but, you know.
Oh man. All right, man, last question. Where can people find you?
You can find me on mixer.com/Talicso, and I'll be there. It's my home for as long as I can keep it my home. I love it. I'll never leave. Mixer's my home. Love it.
Any other social media platforms you want to plug in?
Yeah, we got Twitter. I got Instagram. We're at Talicso. Same thing for YouTube/Talicso. We got Discord. We're not partnered yet, so I don't have it Discord/Talicso, but you can always do the Discord command in our chat, and you always find us there. I'm trying to get Discord partner. That's the next thing I'm trying to tackle right now. So the more, the merrier. If you can get on our Discord, it really does help. So
yes, sir.
Trying to grow it.
Awesome. And somebody said, was it Benzino? Said, get Dad on the show for sure. Part 2. If he's down to come, let me bring him. I'm down. That'd be fun.
My dad actually, he used to do radio, so he's totally got the
awesome. I might have to hit him up to make sure what I'm doing, what I got to do to improve. Good will take my Alzheimer meds. Okay, Alzheimer meds. Okay, Dad. You're having too much fun right now, Dad. Okay.
Yeah, he's having too much fun.
Oh man. Well, for everybody that's here, thank you so much. If you've been here for these, you know, through all the crazy internet in the beginning, and you guys are still here, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with us and sharing this moment with us of Talicso of the Save File podcast early on. It's a hell of a legacy. I wish to keep going, and I love this man so much, man. Got to know him so much more, and now I'm just like, bro, I love you, bro. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me. Really, the pleasure is all mine. Really, thank you.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. So, like you said, part two,
baby. Let's do it.
Let's get
Give
it.
me an address, a time, and a place. I'll be there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna tell them the Air Force, hey, he got to make time for me. Got to.
I'll let him know, dude.
Oh man. Okay, for the people in the chat, I see y'all. You guys have been so live this whole time on the chat. Thank you so much. All the some of the sparks, some of the follows. If you guys haven't followed yet, please consider following. I do this every Thursday with Mixer Partners. I'm booked as of last night. I'm booked all the way to the end of April. So I'm booked for the next 2 months. I got a whole lot of stuff coming in.
Make sure you guys are following this man here, chat.
Thank you so
podcast. It's fantastic. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Breezy says, go live. Looking forward to more of these. Of course, I'm looking forward to you guys coming back and hanging out. It's so fun. It's an amazing journey, and I appreciate you guys being with me. And again, thank you so much. I know it's early on in this career. I noticed the Mixer community, they're so open-armed to where, you know, they look more at my mission than my numbers, and I'm highly grateful 100%. For that. It's awesome. All right, so to close it off, for the people that don't know, who are you and whose save file is this?
My name is Talicso, and this is my save file.
Hey, there you have it, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. That wraps it up for this time. Again, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Go ahead, spam all those emotes. I don't care. Let's do it. I want to see some spammage going on. Spam the Tally Town emotes. Let's get it. Oh, man. All right, y'all. This is us closing out. Again, my name's Gold Lion. Stay happy, stay healthy, and most of all, gamers, stay golden. Until next time, my friends. Peace.
Peace.